Testing, testing. Is this thing on?
I have my box of treats right here. What do you think about that?
We got a box of treats and we got a lot to talk about in
This
this
is a
episode.
mystery
This
box.
episode's gonna be spicy, spicy, spicy.
Yeah,
What's in that?
this is a box of mysteries and secrets about this league that I'm going to be slowly pulling out. For each high noon I pull out is another mystery that I'm revealing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's like a story with each high noon.
You ever gotten like the mystery box in Zombies?
Yeah.
And you never know what you're gonna
Yeah.
get.
Let's see. I got a watermelon. That's
Yeah.
basically like a fucking
Ray gun.
great one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Watermelon.
Yeah. What's going on with the chat? How we doing? We got Danny Cruz in the house. We got Brandon Gibson. We got Jay Grace. We got Respect. We got Mike Cams. We got whoever this one is. There's no name to this. Get away with that.
I don't know how that works.
Do you see that?
Yeah, I don't know how that works. But I think we should start off obviously with the big news that just happened. Came in about 10 minutes ago. The first trade in NFL history.
I didn't even. This is news to me. There's a trade.
Yeah, first trade in NFL history went down about 10 minutes ago. We just got word that the trade between Greek gods and only flags, Jose Lazu Jr. Was traded for his father, along with Bryce and Andrew Duval. So what do you think about that?
Wow, Duval's. Oh man, Jake must be
I think
pissed.
it involved Lazu Sr. having an injury or something going on, but yeah, I guess somehow that passed. First trade in NFL history is locked in. No trade backs.
Did I get trade? I got sent. Am I still a lobster?
You're on the trade block.
Wow.
I don't know how else to say it to you. I didn't want to break the news, but you're on the trade block.
Okay.
You might be gone by the end of this episode.
I have to keep checking my cell phone.
There's been no trades, but we do.
This kid's trolling hard. There's absolutely no trades, but we got a lot to talk about. First of all, what do you guys think?
I would just want to put this on record. I would trade you for an 8-pack of high noons. And a what is it? Wizard of Mozzarella sticks from Kentucky.
You want to know what I would trade this kid for? An L16 from China Max.
Wow. I mean, I can't really blame you, dude. That used to hit late
Yeah.
night.
It's like, now that talk about a mystery box is a plate from fucking China Max.
Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get. All right, we got kind of off the beaten track there to start, but
just a soft start. You know what I mean? We're letting people get in here. We got a lot to talk about. Kamish's coming on. We got a special guest coming on to go through his updated power rankings, and then I mean, in the next 3-4 minutes or so, we're gonna bring in the players of the week, which I don't think anybody knows who it is. Who do you guys think should be player of the week? Put it in the comments. It's gonna be a quarterback and a skill position, and both of them are joining the show tonight.
What do you think about that? Do you think it should be one player every week, or do you agree that it should be a quarterback and a skill position?
I don't know. Either way is cool to me. I guess the reason they're doing it this way is it's pretty much been dominated by quarterbacks. This award.
Is understandable. Yep.
So this is why they're gonna roll it this way. There's gonna be a skill player of the week, and then there's gonna be a quarterback of the week. So we'll keep it spicy. We're gonna announce it live each week on this show.
Right.
So that's cool.
Yeah. So let's get started with that.
Okay.
Do we have both of our player of the weeks loaded in here?
Let's check the gulag.
We do.
We do. All right. Let's bring them up.
All right. First, starting out with our skill player of the week
/ sponsored athlete by FlipTheBirdMedia.
He is a sponsored athlete by FlipTheBirdMedia, and he had himself a day.
And he goes by him.
He goes by him. Did we get him in here?
Yep. Oh, he just left. Back in here. I'm bringing them both in. All right, boys. You guys are officially on the show. Feel free to turn your cameras on. Riley, you're muted. You've been in here. Riley's been in this chat since like 3:30 this afternoon. He's
respectfully. Oh, wait a minute. We're losing people left and right. Uh-oh.
All he has to do is unmute.
Yeah, he's unmuted. Okay.
There we go.
All right, we got one of them in there. He looks like his camera just went through a shower.
I'm blurred, buddy.
Are you in the penitentiary right now? What's going on over there?
No, I did the blur effect. I don't want to see my dirty laundry and all that.
Okay, respect.
Fair. Welcome in, Cheeks. Got the player of the week, skilled player of the week. You had yourself a day. You got 16 receptions and 3 touchdowns on week 1 to lead the season, buddy. How are we feeling about that?
Feeling great. Danny Dimes looked awesome.
Yep.
Okay, and I kind of do want to talk about Danny Dimes a little bit. So obviously you're coming off a year where I don't want to say you guys had quarterback issues last year, but you guys had a loaded roster, I would say. And I think at times they struggled to get you the ball as much as they should. Now week 1, 16 receptions, 3 TDs. Is this a sign of things to come, or do you think teams are going to start doubling you up and you're not going to be able to get this many targets?
I mean, I think it is a sign of things to come because I think regardless of what they put for coverage, whether it's me, Baldwin, other guys we have, someone's going to eat every game. I mean, I think we're a tough team to cover. We got a lot of different weapons, so.
I agree with that.
Yep. Week 1 in the books for Danny Dimes. He obviously looked good. I mean, he got you 16 catches. So as Howe mentioned, that could get tough for you as weeks come together here now. I mean, I would expect defenses to really zone in on you. That's a great week 1, and I definitely think you deserve the week 1 player of the week for the skill position for sure.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Absolutely.
What did you think about now you played a team that I had in, I think, 5th overall. I can't remember where you had them exactly in the Honey Badgers, but Honey Badgers, let's talk about them a little bit. Obviously they didn't adjust properly if you're getting 16 receptions and 3 touchdowns, but I know it's week 1. Is that team, where do you rank them? Are they a top 10 team, or you don't have to say necessarily where, but are they better than you thought, worse than they thought?
I think they're right where I thought they were going to be. I think that at the end of the season, they would definitely be top 10 playoff team. They just have a very good team, a lot of chemistry dating back to last season. I know they're missing Dennis, Defensive Player of the Year. It's a big loss that first game. So don't know if things would have went differently, but definitely a big piece to be missing.
Absolutely. Okay. And last question for you, Cheeks. Now being a 3rd-year player, you've obviously had nothing but success in this league. Do you have an advantage versus, a rookie 2nd-year player, knowing the rules and maybe different, things that you could do in this league that's going to propel you over, maybe a first-time player or like a second-time player in this league?
I think I have a little bit of an advantage just have playing in this league before. I mean, the rules are definitely different than other leagues that I play in and I've played in before. I wouldn't say too big of an advantage, but definitely a small one having played before for sure.
Awesome. Patrick, anything else?
That's it. I'm trying to help Riley out. I don't know. I don't know what his issue is. It says he's in here. He thinks his camera's on, but it's definitely not on. He's in here. He says he can hear us, so I don't know what's going on his end.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on either.
Well, there he is.
We can hear him.
Yeah.
Welcome in, Riley.
We're
So
doing.
are you on your phone or a laptop?
I'm on the laptop.
So hover your mouse around, and there should be a camera. Just press turn camera on.
That's what I'm doing. I had it on before, and I'm not sure
It
what the
doesn't
hell
hurt to
happened.
upgrade from Net Zero. I know you've been on that $9.99 plan for a long time.
Yeah, I don't use this often. I probably should have used my phone.
No, it's all right.
It's the same thing. You just got to.
I got it. We're good.
There we go. There we go.
There we
All
are.
right. So now we have
All right, we got both of them
our
in here.
quarterback of the week.
Got our quarterback of the week. He went 19 for 28 with 7 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. So that's a pretty
insane.
dominant performance
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
insane.
Riley, how are we feeling? I mean, big game in week 1. How are you feeling with the squad?
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely excited going in. I'm very excited about my squad, and it was good to show out week 1. I mean, Mike Archambault, pretty easy throwing to him. Other guys stepped up. Nagro was big. Jonathan Anderson, another rookie, was big. I mean, I just felt like the team was clicking on all cylinders. So.
Yeah, I definitely looked it. And Riley, let me ask you something. So I really have 2 questions mainly for you. First thing is, I know going into week 1, I thought that they might have Jason from Most Wanted and Blitz as your quarterback, and I know you took him relatively early. So what was the goal taking, because I know a lot of teams said they wanted to take him as a quarterback. It looked like obviously you're going to be the starting quarterback, barring anything happening, but what was the game plan with him? Is he in the rotation as a quarterback, or obviously whatever you did worked so far, so What was the thought process behind, let's say, him and your game plan with him?
So yeah, just going into the draft, I just wanted to draft the best available football players, football minds, and I know he's got a good football mind. He can play multiple positions. I mean, I know I can play multiple positions too, so I mean, it does give us options that we need. But yeah, I don't know. I was just going in taking football minds and he was one of them and he was there, so I pulled the trigger.
Absolutely. And then I think the second question I had for you is me and Patrick both thought that you had, and I gave you an A+ on the draft grade, that you probably had the best draft in the sense of drafting what your game plan was. You said it in the captain's chat for months. You had a game plan, and you basically picked how you wanted to set your team up. So can you talk about that a little bit? Because I think this is the first time we've actually gotten you on here since then, and it looks like everything's going according to plan.
Yeah, I mean, so far so good. Like I said, just going in, I wanted to draft football minds, the guys that know what they're doing out there, guys that can play multiple positions. So, if we're missing a few guys here and there, we can have guys fill in, no problem. Switch positions whenever we need to, no problem. And obviously the physicality aspect, I like to play a physical style of football, so I drafted guys that I knew would fit that.
Okay, Patrick.
Facts. Well said. You know what I mean? Congrats, boys. Thanks for joining in the
Good.
show. You guys got anything else you want to say?
Go
Anything you want to
Grizzly,
talk
baby.
about? Go Grizzlies.
I have one last question actually for them.
What do you got?
If you two are lined up in the face each other in the championship, what's the final score and who's taking that? Who's taking that dub?
I guess we'll find out week 3 when we play against each other.
Oh shit! You
Eh,
guys are matching
mean,
up here real soon then.
week 3 will be a good one. That is on Easter though, so we'll see how many people show up.
Yeah, that's the Easter week.
But
Yeah, that is gonna be
I
Everybody's
definitely
that week.
definitely
Yeah.
looking forward to the June matchup with Grizzly Bears.
Is
Yep.
is Cheeks getting 16 receptions and 3 touchdowns against you guys?
I I can guarantee he won't break double-digit receptions.
Wow! Guarantees it.
All right, I like that. They're gonna
Alright.
throw the double. I think if you want that to happen, he's gonna have to get doubled. But that's just my, that's all. That's what I'm gonna leave it at.
Yeah, I mean,
All right, gentlemen, we have our week 1 player of the week and skill players.
Congrats,
Riley and
fellas.
Cheeks, thank you so much, guys, for joining us.
appreciate it, boys.
Appreciate it.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having me.
Absolutely. Go Lobsters.
With that being said, go. Get him out of here.
Let's get the fuck out of this show.
No.
That's enough of that. We're on the Lobster season. Just kidding. Congrats, those guys.
seriously,
Well
they
deserved.
pulled
That's pretty cool. We're gonna do this as a segment. Every week during the show, we're gonna bring the players of the week on the show, and we'll fucking do a little interview just like we did.
What's going on here?
Let's read the chat. Let's get the chat
getting-
going a little here.
Somebody said they're getting the LeBron treatment. I gotta read a little bit more before I comment. I don't know what they're talking about.
Oh, they're talking about the voting. Let's talk about something for a minute. How does the player of the week get voted? And let me be on air saying this is not a Flip the Bird award. Me and Howe, we're the messenger. Okay, we're just the messenger. All right.
We're gonna listen, regardless, messenger or not,
getting
we're gonna
some
get some feedback, regardless. The week player of the week and quarterback of the week, some mystery box picks the nominees. Okay, the nominees come out of nowhere. I don't know how they get how
You really
someone
don't
gets
know?
nominated. I really don't know. I do know that the captains vote on who wins the actual awards themselves. Okay, so there's
Like
18
the end of the year awards? What are you talking? I'm confused.
no player of the week, right?
Okay,
Just
okay.
talking player of the week. So
So the captains.
the
vote on it.
nominees come out of nowhere. I don't know where they come from. I do know that the player of the week and the skill player of the week, after the nominees are put into the group chat for the captains, and from there it's the captains vote on it. Do I think that there's favoritism? Yeah. I mean, but that's gonna be, if we're being honest, I think there's always gonna be favoritism in anything you vote for. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just it's you go into the NBA, you go into the NFL, like realistically, LeBron James could probably win the MVP every single year. You know what I mean? But there is going to be some type of favoritism. Maybe people are voting for guys who they get along with, guys that they hang out with, guys that are what I mean.
Maybe
this
the
or that.
league should have maybe some kind of percentage of the vote for the week.
I agree, but here's the thing. Now
I said some of it.
It's going to be a crapshoot because some people don't even check the Facebook. So now it's biased again because you're only the people who are voting. And then it's going to be a campaign, vote for me. I just think no matter which way you do it, there's going to be some type of bias.
Yeah.
In any league you play. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much all I got to really say about it. You know what I mean? I think every way you put it, there's going to be some type of bias.
Oh, hold on. Before we move on, we have just under 70 people in here, and I think that I only see 5 thumbs up on the show. So if you guys could give us a little favor here, little thumbs up. Let's get that to 25. That's less than half of the chat watching right now. Can we get the thumbs up to 25? What that does is it gets this video out there, helps us out as a business, helps us get picked by random people. You know what I mean? It'll pop up if you guys hit that thumbs up. So next up, let's go to our next segment. And this is going to be...
Well, this is going to be spicy because, wait a minute, I do have something to say.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll save it. I'm going to just drop a bomb on him when he comes
in here.
Yeah. Oh. All right.
Benjamin.
We do have another guest. If he could figure out how to...
He doesn't know how to use Discord. He left.
And what happened here?
I don't know. Benjamin, you're on the show.
Ben, you're pissing me off already.
How do I join the voice again?
Buddy.
What's up, you fucking idiot?
Can you hear me?
Do you know how to work your computer? Turn your camera on.
I did. I turned it on twice.
That's what everybody's saying, but all I see is a yellow fucking egg screen, buddy. So why don't you turn your camera on?
All right, here he is.
That on button.
Can you guys hear? Can you guys hear me now?
First of all, I got a big question for you. Who the fuck do you think you are with that haircut?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, buddy. What is going on with that?
I don't have a hat.
Where's that?
I normally be wearing a hat.
49ers hat.
I was trying to go with the hat.
You look like Leonardo DiCaprio if he did a perk 30.
You don't got the lettuce like this, buddy.
Buddy, you could play 7 games and lose in the semifinals of the play-in. It would still look like that.
Couldn't hear you getting pissed on.
All right, here we are with Ben. Got it. As much as we shit on him, former NFL champion.
Your hair looks good tonight too, Ben.
Multiple-time captain, so had a lot of success in this league. He wants to come in and drop his power rankings. What do we think about that, Pat?
I mean, he's been fucking chatting to me all week long. I know he's got a lot to say. You know what I mean? And he was pretty spot on. We got to give him some credit. Ben, what did you pick? 9 out of 10 of your top 10 won their game, right?
He did, yeah. Minus one team.
So I mean,
8 out of 9 for. So you got to give someone credit.
You got to give him some credit. So Ben, break it down, buddy. Let's hear the updated NFL power rankings.
Sorry, you guys cut out there for a second.
Sorry,
I look like Adam Sandler. Fuck you, Dome. I look like Adam Sandler and Little Nicky.
God. Wow, now I can't
Please let this man live.
Fuck.
Dude, that is the official funniest comment I've ever read on this channel.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not even kidding.
So the way I did the power ranks for the week 2, and I'll continue doing it this way going forward, is I did a even up or down so that teams could compare how far up or down they moved. And when I release that on the page, you'll be able to see that. There's a little up and down thing for it. I'm not going to take too much time on this because I know you guys got a ton of other stuff to go over. But real quick, Nor'easters at 18. They didn't move anywhere. They were 18 last week. They had Nuge playing quarterback. And they didn't have JJ, so obviously that's massive. But even if they had JJ, I don't think that Nuge should be playing quarterback. I think Devin should be playing quarterback. Nuge is just too dynamic. You put him at quarterback, and it's just too easy to scheme up against him because there just isn't enough other weapons. Even if they had JJ, you can just scheme out JJ.
Lamar too?
I don't know. Yeah, they have Lamar too. I honestly.
So why not? Yeah, I agree with that. They have to get someone else throwing. And
let me say something too, because I was on that team last year. Let Lamar sling that rock. He's got some confidence in himself, and I love it.
Buddy, if you put Lamar at QB with Devin, JJ, and Nuge as your weapons, it's like pick your poison. There's going to be someone open. I'm not telling Derek how to run his team, but that's what I would do. 17, we have Demon Time. They fall down 5 spots. I had them at 12 last week. There really isn't much to say after that performance. You have veteran leadership, studs all over the place, and that's how they come out. And I'm not going to short the Greek gods because they're obviously a really good team, but 14 points.
That looked literally like Appalachian State playing Alabama in the football team.
So I'm not going to go
And
too
in
into.
respect, yeah, I just to go off your point, Ben, I think that Demon Time didn't look good, and it's only 1 week. That's the biggest thing. But I think they look bad on pretty much all levels. Like 14 points on offense, didn't do much on defense. It's only 1 week.
The good news is they had no negativity towards each other, and I think that team's going to be just fine. I think they're going to be just fine, and I actually predicted they might have a little trouble early in the season. I think they'll be okay. They were all completely on the same page, and it's tough when you're getting beat up a little bit in flag football. It's tough to fucking, you know what I mean, keep a smile on your face. But those guys stayed together, and I think they'll be fine.
No, I agree. And honestly, out of my bottom tier teams, if I had to pick one team to rebound to make a run, it would be Demon Time. I think they have all the pieces. It's just last week was really bad. 16, we have Hustlers. They stay where they're at. Pat didn't show up, so really don't know. But they kind of lost Scott. If Scott's injury lingers and Pat does come back,
he got hurt. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he hurt his ribs, so he came out after like the first drive.
That sucks because that's gonna linger. I've had a rib injury.
Shout out to that team though. They hung around. What was the fun? They only gave up like 25 points, 26 points, I think, with missing players. That was like at halftime. It was like 12-6 or something like that.
Yeah, but they also had 3 different people attempt like 9 passes, so they don't really know what's going on. It's just I feel like there's too much stuff that they have to work on. By the time they figure it out, it's going to be too late. So, 15, I have KND. They're moving up 2 spots, even though they lost. Junior looked more composed and is keeping his head, although the mic'd up might say otherwise.
I told someone it's nuts.
Yeah, his connection with his brother's still there, so obviously he has that. But he only threw 56% completion rate, and in this league, that's just not going to cut it. So I don't know if Junior can come back and lead that team to a playoff. I'll be surprised. I just don't know that they have the firepower that's going to take.
Yeah, that was. I gotta give him a lot. That clip is ridiculous.
If anyone wants to know the clip we're talking about, it's on Flip the Bird Instagram, and it's a mic'd up little teaser we did.
No, but I gotta give Junior credit because I'm gonna be honest with you. It looked like half of his team quit on him this week, which is unacceptable. Week 1, shit gets bad. Like I've had weeks. I have the record for least amount of points scored in a game. You know what I mean? So like, imagine if you were there. Like, imagine if my team just gave up when we scored fucking 6 points.
You got kind of fucked that game.
No,
Mike Rodriguez.
Yeah, no. But all points aside, it's just the point I'm trying to make is, especially week 1, you have one bad game. You can't have, or one bad half to start the season. You can't have your whole entire fucking team give up. So I give Junior a lot of credit because he stuck with it, and he was trying to get players out there, and it's like, dude, it's a long season. Me and you know,
I think
we finished the season 4-6 and won it before. So
yeah, and I honestly, like, not for nothing, I hope that they can get that whole team back together because it's going to be a long season otherwise, and we always looks like there might be people quitting on that team or whatever, and if that's the case, it just kind of sucks for everybody else on the team. So for the league, you want them to be good. 14, I had Touchdown Mafia. They're moving up just because the other teams fell down. There really wasn't anything to say about them as far as being impressive on either side of the ball, and I think it might be a long season for them, especially coming off the high of winning the chip.
Alrighty.
I've never seen you put lipstick on a pig like that. He said they're moving up, but then you just insulted them.
Yeah, well, it's basically moving up because the other teams fell.
Yeah.
13, Honey Badgers, again, moving up because the other teams fell. I feel like the Badgers kind of did what I predicted they were going to do. They're just kind of the Badgers that we knew from last year, and there's already a blueprint on how to beat them. So I hope Vigent can come up with something, and it wasn't like they were undermanned or anything last week.
You have never been sold on the Honey Badgers this session, Ben.
No.
Why? Can you tell me why?
I mean, going back to last season, I just don't think that the way that Vigent's built that team can win.
You're blaming Jimmy Sanford.
No.
I'm just trying to stir it up.
No, I just don't know. I just don't think that, especially honestly, Vigent's draft, even at the draft there was drama with that team when Nobrega he took Nobrega. Who was the other guy he took? And then Johnny was all upset, and it's just last year they were yelling at each other, and I don't think that's chemistry that you can just kind of fix. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think there's just enough underlying tension on that team that's just not going to let them get there.
I agree to a point. I don't think that they're a bottom 10 team. I just don't. They lost to Grizzly Bears this week, but Grizzly looks good, and they only lost by 9 points. I think they'll figure it out. They were one play away from making the championship last year as well, despite all the underlying issues, the yelling, Jimmy getting hurt, or I don't know what's going on with his ankles, but
Said ankles with an S.
yeah, but I think they're a top 10 team. I think they'll figure it out. Do I think they're ready to win a championship right this second? No, but I think I don't know many teams that are week 1. You know?
How you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I got them at 13, so a couple wins and they'll be in the top 10. So
Okay.
All
right, who do you got next?
12, I have Dream Killers. They move up because other teams lost. Honestly, they could have won that game, so that's why I have them moving up anyways. There was a couple picks that Joey threw that the wind caused, but otherwise he made a couple really good throws, including that, Pat, you guys got that coverage on the one to stretch. That was a ridiculous dime.
That was a great
and
throw by Bova.
they were only a couple plays away from beating Houday, and if they beat Houday, it's a completely different conversation. So there's some stuff going on right now in the league about different things going on with that team. So
we're gonna address that a little bit later. But
We got Commish coming on the show tonight.
No, so that but that's there. I feel like Dream Killers is kind of a team in flux. They could next week they could be 17 or they could be 8. It really depends on what they do next week.
I think they're looking. Danny Cruz said Jimmy's the way he plays is set up to be successful in this league. I think we can all agree with that. Pocket passer, getting 7 seconds to throw the ball, or 4 if you send a blitz. But we've been saying that it is that type of league where a quarterback like that can succeed. Going to Dream Killers, dude, they looked a lot better than I thought. And Houday didn't look as good as I thought they would either.
They did at points, though. They showed what they can be at points in that game.
But I had Dream Killers at like 15, and I had Houday at 1. And I don't know. I mean, that game going forward, it was a 6-point game with Bova driving. He threw a pick 6, and that was the end of the game. But if that drive goes differently, does Houday get upset week 1? I mean, like I said, I wasn't as impressed with Houday as they obviously look pretty good, but I was more impressed with Dream Killer's performance.
I agree. That's basically where I'm at. 11, I had Whiskey Boys staying where they were. I had them last week. I was actually surprised by their defense be as good as it was. I feel like Bad Boys.
Can you tell us
Bad Boys
everything
had
about
a
them?
fully loaded offense and only put up 40. I feel like they probably should have put up 50 or 60. But the Whiskey Boys defense was surprisingly good. My concern is that Tambo is in love with his son, rightfully so, because it is his son. But he threw 50 times with 40 completions, and they didn't have a single rush attempt. I just don't think that you can win in this league not rushing the ball.
Do you agree with that? Because
it's a physical game. I think adding a run game is dominant in here, man. I really do. I think that's a good point by Ben. I think it can work at points in the season, dude. But if you're predictable, I think things can get tough, and I think defenses can, draw up a good game plan that way.
I don't know if I agree with that because Honey Badgers didn't run the ball once last year, and they made it one play away from the championship.
That's enough of that one play stuff, though. They did it.
They made it to they made it to the semifinals.
Wow.
They didn't run the ball one time.
Jay runs the ball a lot of the time, and he was undefeated last year until the championship.
My point is I don't think it's make or break. That point, I don't think it's make or break.
No, of course not.
I just
make or break.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, Mike. It's not make or break. I'm not saying that they can't win. I just think that if you're targeting somebody 20 times and you're not running the ball, and the defense knows that they can drop 6 into coverage every single time, it's just going to be tough.
See, that's a good point. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
10, I have Punishers falling back to 9. Obviously, they lost to you guys. That was a tough win. They look good. Tough loss for them because they were obviously fully loaded and you guys were missing some stuff. But that's a great lineup and a great team, and Degli and them will figure it out. So they didn't drop really much.
I don't know if it hurts or helps, but the win, I know people are shitting on you for saying the win was a fact. It was in our game. The wind was a big
Absolutely was.
factor.
And
I
anybody who
couldn't throw
say
the ball more than I could, but like that, the wind was fucking howling. So and it's
anybody who
gonna be
says that the
howling
wind
Sunday
wasn't
too.
exactly, they just didn't watch the game, honestly. So
Yeah, no, the wind
um,
was a big factor. I can confirm because I was throwing at 12 o'clock, and it was like people were getting upset. I wasn't throwing the ball downfield, but it's like you just don't know. You know what I mean? You just and it's gonna be the same thing Sunday. You
yeah,
know?
the weather's similar. It's gonna be like 46 or whatever. Um, just to get this moving a little bit, I got the Guardians at 9, moving up. They obviously got the win. Um, my biggest concern about them is their defense. Carter had 14 tackles. The rest of the team had 9. I don't
Dude,
know.
that's crazy. I saw that in the stats.
I
Carter,
don't
Do
know
you
if
think
you
that's
can win. Can
you think
you
that's
know?
legit, or
Yeah, it's
did he
legit.
pay off his stat guy?
14-9.
That's crazy.
that's a
So
dominant performance.
it's dominant, but can you win consistently with one guy getting 14 tackles?
I,
You
I
know?
mean, I don't know if he's gonna get 14 every week, but either way, to have a guy that's capable of getting 14 is fucking. That's helpful.
Yep.
Don't
I was
okay.
also concerned with
Real
Gora.
pause,
He
real
threw
quick.
2 picks, so
Yeah,
um,
but like I said, the win was affected. But we're going to the comments. First thing we'll address: Badgers smash boom boom all last year. No lube. I think that was a 1 point game, first game of the season.
oh, I mean we had a 3-score lead and we lost the game.
Yeah, okay. But we did beat you guys, Chad, for the championship.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
That did happen.
When that
Do you-
happens, when
That
that
did
happens,
happen.
there's
We did
just
win
not
the
much to
championship.
say. You
All
know?
right. So that's the first comment. The second comment is so the win affects effects. It's affects. I think. I don't know. I'm getting lost in some of these comments. I don't think anybody said that. I don't think that we were saying that affects the losers, not the winners. I just think it was a factor for both teams. How many tackles did you have, Ben? So you knew there was going to be a couple comments about you playing. Okay, that's fair.
That's fair.
He tackled the game plan from the sideline. I've said this. You could shit on Ben all you want, but I've said this for months, maybe even years at this point. You guys don't realize how big game planning goes into winning games. All right, what else do we have?
8. I got boom boom. I don't think that our win was all that impressive. I had us at 8 last week. Dane obviously looked really good. Sam looked really good. But we probably should have beat Nor'easters by 3 or 4 scores, and we had the opportunity to, and we had 5 or 6 drops. We missed a ton of flags. We let a couple really big plays. We had a broken coverage. It's a win. I'm not gonna
Why aren't
take
you
that
moving down then? Because all I
because
heard was a lot of garbage right there. Why
yeah,
would you not move
I
down after that win?
who's
Danny,
supposed to
I
be
know,
ahead
but
of us?
I was agreeing with you, Danny. I was agreeing with you. So go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just don't think that our win was all that impressive. So I don't really think that we move up or down there. But I still think that we're a top 10 team. So I think we could be really good. We just have to figure it out.
Well, these are the week 2 power rankings, bud. You know what I mean?
Okay,
You
who's
worry
set?
about that hair, there, guy.
It's perfect. It's fucking perfect. Next.
7, I got Houde. They don't move
Oh,
up or
7.
down. I think Hosby looks good. But my big concern is 56% completion rate there. With someone like Deuce, where you don't need to throw deep, you can just dump it off to him. His completion rate probably should have been somewhere more in like the 70 to 80% range.
I can
With
agree
that
with
said,
that
Deuce
to a
can't be
point.
your savior every week. You can't just rely on Deuce to be Superman every week. You have to include other people in your team. And if you look at the stats, I don't think that plays out. But they got the win, so a win's a win, right?
Okay. All right. I can slightly agree with that. I don't know if I have him as low as 7, but
Well,
all
that's
right.
where I had them last week. So their win wasn't overly impressive, and they could have lost the Dream Killer. So I don't see them moving up.
Okay.
6, I had only flags dropping 3, and mostly because I wasn't overly impressed by their win, and they lost Lazoo. I think they're going to go with the "In Jay We Trust" kind of thing, but that roster still has some work to do. I think Jay will figure it out. But for what I saw last week, based on the teams above them and what they did, they're going to move down by happenstance, not because they lost or anything. That kid Bryce looks legit. Jay's probably just going to incorporate him the rest of the way. So I think they're a team to watch out for, and they can move back up. But based on the teams above them, I have them at 6 right now.
Okay. 5.
5. I have you guys. You don't move either way. Pretty impressive win against a good Punishers team, all things considered. You guys were missing a few pieces with Curtis and such. My biggest concern, and I talked to Patty about this week, is, dude, you looked gassed by the end of the game.
He was boozing all night.
Buddy, I'm a fat alcoholic. What do you want?
You
me to
were
have flirty?
gassed.
And Ben, and you want to know something? Is Ben looks fucking chiseled after his fucking games. He
Buddy,
just
how
looks
is
like
damn
everything
right.
fucking.
I was gassed because I played fucking 48 minutes and I was
That's
tired.
what I'm, and
I had
that's what I'm
10
saying.
rushing attempts.
Keep
Patty's
going.
got to do a better job of rallying the troops and get other people involved.
He was
You're
hurt.
not-
He
You're
got
not.
hurt.
I was playing sick. I was sick as a dog. Right?
Okay.
All right.
Well, I still got you at 5.
You've also seen me play after binge drinking until 4 a.m. and still win a championship. So
I know, and that's I'm just saying, buddy. You got to get more people involved. That's all.
Buddy,
4. I got Bad Boys moving down from 1. I just wasn't superly impressed by them giving up 35 to Whiskey Boys, considering that Whiskey Boys were missing a few pieces, and
I
that
didn't see. I can't agree with that. No, I don't know if it affects them week 1, in the future, but I can't agree. I didn't see them giving up 35 points week 1 to that team. I didn't.
yeah, and they were
still got
missing.
the
And
dub.
Whiskey Boys were missing pieces, but more importantly, that defense was supposed to be their strength. They were supposed to be stout, and giving up 35 points against an undermanned Whiskey Boys team that was fairly predictable that they were just going to be throwing the whole game. I don't know. They obviously still have Yogi, who's fucking elite. They still have Vance, who's elite. Yaba's a great captain, so I think they'll figure it out. But they only moved down really because I wasn't overly impressed with their defense, but more because the 3 teams in front of them were all super impressive. 3, I have Grizzly Bears. They moved down from 2 just because I think Greek Gods and Primetime were that much more impressive, but Grizzly Bears looked really good. Obviously, Cheeks did what Cheeks did. If Danny Dimes can keep it up, I don't see why Grizzly Bears won't be a top 3 team all season. So
I can agree with that.
Yep. And then 2, I had Greek Gods. Jacob really just showed up and showed why he's who he is all the way back to season 1. He's just great leadership, good game planning. He gets the best out of his guys. But more importantly, he's got Duval, and he's never had a weapon like that before. And man, did he drive? Yeah.
I don't know if I can agree with that. I mean, they're on different levels. I get it, but Curtis is elite.
Oh yeah, if he's had Curtis, then he's definitely had one of those tier 1 people.
That's
on the team.
all due respect to Curtis, Duval is like at another level.
From everybody. But he's a tier 1 player.
From maybe it's probably only like you could make like Deuce, Mel, and Duval. To be honest, you know what I mean. Maybe you could put Jordan because of what he could do at quarterback and throw and run, like that type of player. But I don't know.
There's not many players.
Maybe Vance. I haven't seen Vance play in a little bit, but like you could put a couple people in that upper echelon. But there's only probably 3 or 4 players total.
Do you think Curtis is as good 2-way as Duval? Because Duval's elite both ways.
He just broke it down. Not many fucking people are, but Curtis is right up there, dude.
There's but I think Curtis is a tier 1 player, and then there's tier 0, which is like a Mel, Deuce,
1A, 1B.
So the caveat of that is that based on Duval, Amigo he just absolutely ate. He might be the best 4th round pick of the draft.
Yeah.
Who?
He's tall, he's big. They can use him for the double pass.
Yeah.
So that was massive. If you look at his stats and they figured it out. I think the Greek Gods are, have a chance to be the first time to win 2 championships in the NFL. But stand them in the way. Prime time, number 1. They're moving up 5 spots from 6. Man, Riley looked awesome, dude. I don't know if you guys watched that whole game. I don't know what he's talking about with his shoulder hanging by a thread or whatever, but man, he was making some ridiculous throws.
It's all gamesmanship.
Yeah.
Yep. And in the wind, those throws, he looked awesome. Anyway, staking his claim, it might be the best QB in the league. And that team is all on the same page and exactly what you already talked to him about earlier when he was on, getting the best out of his players and picking people that all know what the fuck they're doing. So.
Okay. All right. We're going to go through a little bit of the games and stuff like that and kind of bounce off what Ben said. But, Ben, we appreciate your power rankings. I agree with a lot of it, to be honest.
You stirred it up quite a bit.
Yeah.
If you
I'm sure I did.
Why don't you go tune into the comments there, Ben?
Just make sure,
Benjamin Button.
Ben, just stay off social media for the rest of the night. That might help you.
Everybody say goodnight to Benjamin Button.
Ben, thank you. Any
All
last
right, see you
comments?
guys. No, I just said like for every 2 people that like me, there's 15 that hate me, so it's all good.
Well, you know what they say. If you don't have haters, you're not doing it right.
And you're not doing it right.
Thank you, Ben.
Guys, doing a good job with the show. See you later.
Thanks,
Thanks,
bud.
Ben.
Smell you later.
All right. So Ben, with his power rankings, like I said, to be honest with you, as much hate as he got, I agree with.
Listen, he did get a lot of hate in the comments. I got to give him some credit for joining the show. And if anybody wants to hop on and disagree with them, you guys know I've been telling you where to join the show all week long. You hop in that Discord. If anybody's got something to say, love to have you on.
Absolutely. With that being said, we're going to go through a quick recap of week 1, just in case you guys missed it. I know we've covered a lot of that so far, but what do you think, Patrick? A quick recap of what went down and maybe a quick little input about the scores?
I think I'd like to enjoy a little high noon to this week 1 results.
Okay.
Say there, Howery.
All right, week 1, dude still hasn't showered. All right, listen.
Who hasn't showered?
Let's be nice to each other.
They
in the
say
comments.
Ben hasn't showered.
Let's be nice to each other in the
Put
comments.
some fucking Old
gotta-
Spice on, buddy.
You know what? You gotta give Ben respect though, because that dude gets a lot of hate and he just keeps going. He don't change for nobody. You gotta give someone credit. He don't change.
Let me
for
say
anybody.
something. Funniest comment I ever heard in Flip the Bird history is Dome calling Ben Little Nicky. He got absolutely body slammed, buddy. That is the funniest shit I ever seen on this fucking platform.
All right, so let's get started with week 1 recap. Damn, we got 73 people in here. I think
73
that's a career high
people.
for us.
It is. A quick little cheers to that. Quick with everybody in here. You know what I mean? We
Cheers to
appreciate
that.
you guys for real. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit the thumbs up. You know, we're at 39. Let's try to get that to 50. Get that to
The
50.
comments are ridiculous. I gotta stop looking at the comments.
No, we gotta embrace the comments.
I
Last
can't-
week
I
we
can't
got
even
shit on
focus.
because we didn't pay attention to the comment box.
I
So now
can't
I
even
got fucking
focus on.
blown up next to the
No, I
Celtics.
can't
game right
focus on the fucking comments while I'm doing this. I can't.
here. I can.
All right. Week 1, we had, starting off the season, we had Primetime facing the defending champions, TD Mafia. I thought this was going to be a landslide for Primetime. I wouldn't say it's a landslide, but
I would.
15-point game, and it looked like
It
was
looked like
complete
a
dominance.
landslide, buddy. 15 points was generous because Primetime, with all due respect to the defending champs, Primetime looks like fucking they're gonna be there at the end
They
of the
look
year.
like
so
it's Primetime.
yeah, they look like it's Primetime.
All right, and then Bad Boys played Whiskey Boys. As we said a couple minutes ago, that game didn't go how I thought. I'm just
Same.
going to be honest.
Same.
I know the win. I know we keep saying win. I know it's week 1. I didn't see, in that environment, that weather, I didn't see Whiskey Boys putting up 35 points on any different level. I didn't. But good news for both teams is I know Bad Boys, they got the win. I know they're probably not ecstatic about the way they won that game, but they got a win. And Whiskey Boys, same thing. They're probably not ecstatic that they lost, but there's a lot of good things to build upon. I mean, they didn't look bad.
Yep.
So I think both teams can take things from that game, both good and bad. Moving on.
Moving on, we got the Dream Killers versus Houday. We got a 38-26 Houday victory, which, again, this is another one of those games where it felt like Houday just won by more than that. So, I mean, take it for what you want. But it also says a lot for Dream Killers. You know what I mean? This is one of those teams that they're saying right now we can't be slept on in this league. So
I agree to a point. I think that, as I said before, I think Houday was less impressive than Dream Killers, but that's not a knock at either team. I just thought that Dream Killers was going to be bad, and I thought Houday was going to be really good, and it was a closer game than I thought. But I think they're both on, at the end of the day, they're on 2 different levels right now, where Houday is just a top-tier team, and I don't know if Dream Killers is, but it goes back to the last statement. I think there's good and bads to take from both teams on that game.
yeah, I would say I would agree with that for sure. Next one, we got Nor'easter versus Boom Boom Athletics. 48-34 final, but I'll tell you right now, Little Nicky was not happy with that win because I saw him on the sidelines and he was not happy. I think he wanted to win by more than that. So, and I think that Nor'easter showed that they belong in this league as well. So, I mean, 48-34 final. I think that was probably closer than what Boom Boom would have wanted. Do you have any thoughts on that game?
I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. I know that we both went into that game thinking that was going to be a fucking blowout. And I guess it was. 14 points isn't necessarily a close game. I think Nor'easter's got a. Nuji's too good. I think he needs to either be a receiver or he's going to help more, I think, as a receiver. You got some guys that can throw. Devin can throw.
JJ's hurt.
Lamar can throw. He'll be coming back eventually. So now look at it. You got Lamar throwing to Devin, throwing to JJ, throwing to Nuge. I know there's a couple other guys on that team I can't think of right now. But, hey, I think that's their best option. I do. Because they didn't look great. But I guess second half they looked a lot better than they did in the first half. So
Who,
we'll see
Boom
what
Boom
happens.
or
Nor'easter.
Okay.
Nor'easter. They put up 34 points, so that's not too bad.
100%. This team, yeah, 100%. Next one we got the Hustlers versus Guardians, which looks like it was a pretty solid game. We got a 26-13 final. Guardians won that one, right?
Yeah, so Guardians won this game. Hustlers, I think they had 8 different people trying to play quarterback,
Oh boy.
which is tough. I know they lost Jordan, and then they added Pat, and I know Pat couldn't make it this week. So there, it's like, okay, who plays? And then they lost Scott, who's their third string quarterback or second string quarterback, and he gets hurt. And they stuck around. You got to give this team a lot of credit. They only gave up 26 points to a Guardians team that looked pretty full. So they get that offense, they get their quarterback there. Who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows what happens if they had their quarterback in that game? So I don't think there's anything to hang their head about.
No. Next one we got Greek Gods versus Demon Time. 52-13 final.
This was bad.
This was a bad one. Greek Gods looked really good, man. They look like they have a set offense that they come in with a game plan and they stick to it, and they played hard until the final whistle. Like I don't think they gave a fuck what the score was during this game. Jake did an awesome job leading the boys. The one complaint I do have is that fucking kid's tights, dude, are just like when you're recording the game live, it's just like what the fuck, man. And his whole I just saw something that was fucked up. You know what I mean? And like, dude, Jake, buddy, for the love of
Throw
God,
some
man.
fucking pants on, dude.
You know what I mean? Just sucks to recover. You know what I mean? Like, it just sucks.
Yeah. Demon Time. They look like Seaman Time this week, but they just like I said, it's 1 week. Like it's just anything can happen, but they gotta figure something out there. They just gotta, you know what I mean? They gotta. Jake's tight came with the weighted built in. But I think when you got so many vets on that team, you got Rocker, you got Prime, you got Haverty, who's a dog.
They're gonna be fine.
I think they're gonna be fine now. The more that I talk about it, the more I think that they're gonna be fine. You know what I mean? It's just it's week 1. Anything could happen. So moving on, we had Honey Badgers versus Grizzly Bears. I think Grizzly Bears, man,
That's a good matchup.
That's
right
an
there.
early test for this team, and they look good.
They did.
They look good.
That is a big win for them. I mean, to hold Honey Badgers to 33 points and win by more than 1 touchdown is impressive to me.
I agree. And not only that, it's
Rookie quarterback.
Yeah, and that's what I was just gonna say. You got a guy who's coming into the first time playing in that league. I know he's played in the rookie showcase. I know he played in the rookie showcase, and I know he played in the preseason games. But Danny Dimes looked good, man. He did not look, and he came off the last preseason game looking kind of like he had a bad game against Bad Boys, and he balled out, dude. So 3rd round pick. So far, it looks pretty good.
Yep. What do we got in the next one here? That was a fun game.
Chris Middleton, I think, just lost all of his teeth. That did not look good.
Chris Middleton?
He just lost all of his teeth. Not good.
And he's also down by like fucking 34 points. Well, moving on. Next game we got Blue Lobsters versus Punishers, which, dude, this was a fun game, man.
Yeah,
this felt like a playoff game. This was like one of the more intense regular season games that I've been a part of, and I thought that was just a lot of fun to play in. And I give nothing but respect to Punishers. I think that they are going to be one of those teams that could win this league towards the end of the year.
Yeah, they were physical as fuck.
They were
And
very physical.
That's the thing. You got guys who aren't afraid to throw a block and aren't afraid to fucking get physical, especially in those win games, man. Like where the ball is you
Tough to
can't throw
score.
it deep. Like it's tough to score. That was a good ass fucking game. I'm gonna be honest. That was a great game. It could have went either way. It came down to the last possession. That Punisher team is gonna be good. Danny looked good. Danny looked good. The only thing you have to say is if he keeps his head together, which I think he will. You know what I mean? I think it's just gonna come down to the whether he limits the arguing. But same for myself. I fucking argue a lot, so you know what I mean. I'm saying it for
We're
myself
fucking
too.
nuts, huh, buddy?
Yeah, like it comes down to any great player if they can keep their cool. So I think that's what it's gonna come down to on that team. They look good.
You want to say anything about the Blue Lobsters?
Nope.
You don't?
I think the Blue Lobsters look great. I think
That was
Blue
fun.
Lobsters had missing. They lost a player early, and we didn't have Curtis, and we had some guys, unlikely heroes, step up. to be
Shout out to
honest.
fucking Porterhouse Steak and shout out to fucking Donnie Burger.
Yep. 9th and 10th round picks, and they both scored 2 touchdowns, including one was a game winner.
And it wasn't even just some bullshit. Those guys showed up to play, so I respect the way that they showed up. I mean, dude, they caught clutch first downs. Like, you had to throw it in with some fucking steam a couple times. And shout out to Porterhouse and Don because they really did show up for us. With the rest of the team, too.
Yeah. Jason, you can say what you want, man, about the 4 turnovers by Danny. But one was a fumble where he dove for the end zone and the ball slipped out for a touchback. Okay, so that one you can't really put on him. One was a pick at the end of the game. He had to throw it up.
Just throw it up.
You know what I mean? And 2, honestly, one I think was on 4th down to me, and then one was like bad. I think one was
one got batted up. I batted
yeah, but it was in the coverage. So I mean, yeah, he had 4 turnovers, but I could honestly say 3 of them could have went either way. So. Don't comment if you weren't there. All right, that's all I gotta say. All right, Jay. I think you also had a dog shit pick too, so I don't want to hear it.
Is that true, Jay?
Yeah, he had a dog shit pick. But all right. Going into the last game. Speaking of that scumbag, Jay Charles, they played K&D.
Oh, this was last game of the week.
I picked only Flags to win. You didn't. You had K&D.
I picked K&D to win.
Yeah.
I don't think I picked them to win.
I think you did. I think you did.
Wow, I don't know what I was thinking.
And I'm gonna be honest, there was a lot of shit talking before this game. I think I think that Junior was talking a lot of shit, and I know it was his rival, but this was bad, man. And I'm gonna be honest. I give Junior a lot of credit, but it's bad on mostly, teammates quitting and this and that. And I thought that K&D was gonna be a little bit more physical than they were. What do you think, Pat?
I mean, they just, with all due respect, they just kind of had their heads down, and it's too early to be doing that in week 1. You know what I mean? I think only Flags showed up. That's going to be a team that is focused every single week. You know what Jay brings to the table. They're going to be ready to play. So you have to fucking keep your head in composure when you're playing these guys, and you have to play 2 halves of football.
100%. Couldn't agree more. And you could even hear it, just kind of the demeanor on the not the podcast, the mic'd up.
Yep.
Jay, they were up early, and he said, we're not giving up. We're playing a full game of football. So it seems like the locker rooms for both those teams is very different right now.
Yeah.
But as we said 100 times, it's week 1. Anything could happen. Anything can be turned around. But only Flags, I will admit, they impressed me. They look better than I thought they would.
Facts. And I guess I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. No offense to pick them to lose last week, but. I don't know. They're gonna be ready to go with Jay leading the charge. So
they also may have lost a big player on their team.
He's a tough dude though. Like, how long do you actually expect him to be out? Because I don't think he's gonna be out long.
I don't either. I just don't know if he tore. They're saying he tore his calf possibly.
Oh, jeez, really?
I don't know. I also seen a play. I got to shout out RT3. It was a Cam Newton Super Bowl.
He made a couple plays during that game.
He made a couple plays. Shout out to RT3. Ball was on the ground. Jay looked like he wanted no part of it, and
RT3, he looked like Cam Newton during that Super Bowl.
And RT3 doesn't play that soft shit.
No,
he does not play that soft shit.
No, he would have got a concussion going for that football. There was nothing on earth that would have stopped him.
Sometimes that's a guy you need in your locker room. If everyone else is going to quit on that team, it's not going to be RT3.
He's going to walk through a tornado to get that football on the ground.
And he doesn't care fucking what the score is, what their record is.
Nope.
You got to shout out to RT3 for that.
Shout out to RT3.
That play sums up RT3. honestly. That play summed up our T3.
Yep.
All right. Moving forward, that covers last week.
That's the week one. That's the week one right there in
Week
the
one,
books,
we're
boys.
closing the book on week one.
We're on to week two.
We're on to week two. Let's see it. What do we got?
We're on to week two. We're on to week two.
And we got an early game.
Oh
But
my
first-
goodness. First,
This is a good game.
listen, I haven't taken a look at. I like to do this raw. I don't know what the matchups are during week two. So this is literally, to be honest, the first time I'm looking at it. And this right here looks like it could be a potential game of the week to me. We got the Honey Badgers versus Primetime, and these are two physical teams squaring off at an 8 a.m. football game on Sunday morning. I think that this is going to be one to watch. So if I were you guys and you plan on watching games throughout the day, you might have to grab yourself a boot mill and show up early because this is going to be a fucking fun game to watch right
Yep.
here.
What you got? And by how much?
And by how much, dude? I'm going to have to go with, until I see something to prove me otherwise, I'm going with Primetime, man. They looked like they could be ranked number 1, 2, 3. That's as far as you can go with this team. There's no way you can put them out of the top 3. I'm going to pick Primetime until I see something different. And that's no disrespect to the
Yeah.
Honey Badgers.
I'm going to say Primetime by 9 points. And I think it's just because, again, it's going to be, guess what? It's going to be cold and it's going to be windy again, which hurts Honey Badgers because Honey Badgers likes to throw the ball. I know Jimmy got an arm. He could
How
throw
much
through the
does that
window.
affect Jimmy, though? That
No, I
might
think
be...
no, but I think this favors teams who can run the ball. And
Oh,
is
okay.
Honey Badgers going to be able to match Primetime's physicality at 8 a.m. on a Sunday when it's cold and windy?
I don't know.
Primetime did this last week. They played at 8 a.m. last week in the cold and looked.
Are they
fine.
requesting 8 a.m.?
No, I think there's something's going on. Something's going on here. I think it's going to be Prime by 9 points. And now you look towards Honey Badgers starting the year 0-2. What happens with that team starting 0-2?
Not much. I think that they got a lot of veterans on their team, and I think that they'll be able to fucking shake that off, no problem. And honestly, man, this is anybody's game. We can't act like Primetime's gonna win it. You know what I mean? How surprised would you be if Honey Badgers did win?
I wouldn't be.
Exactly, my point.
But I think that I have a good feeling about Primetime this week.
I'm gonna pick Primetime as well. Looks like the majority of the chat is riding with Primetime. I don't see anybody that said Honey Badgers yet. So that kind of makes me think Honey Badgers a little more.
No.
If I'm a Vegas guy, you know what I mean? But I'm not.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pick Primetime.
If you were a betting man, you would bet Honey Badgers.
No, I'd bet Primetime if I
Yeah,
was
me
betting my dough. Moving on. We got the BBL Boston Blue Lobsters versus the Whiskey Boys, who are coming off a tough loss. I think this is going to be a tough game. 8 a.m. Sunday morning. Also to note, there's a tournament going on this day. So
Yep.
that could definitely play a factor into what's going on. Not sure if Whiskey Boys are missing any of their guys. Not telling you if BBL's missing any of their guys. But I mean, how can I ride against my fucking boys? I'm picking BBL.
BBL by 10.
BBL by 10. There you have it. I'm going to say BBL by fucking 13. That's my pick.
2-0 for BBL. 0-2 for Whiskey.
Enough. That's enough of that. We're moving on to the next game. All right. Bad Boys versus Boom Boom Athletics. What the fuck was that, dude?
I think I just moved the table.
Holy shit, I feel like this whole fucking office just moved.
Yeah. Sorry
Jeez,
about that.
buddy. Well, if we fall through this floor, then we do.
It was my fault.
Yeah. I don't know what that was, buddy. But anyways, moving on. We got like I said, we got Bad Boys versus Boom Boom. This is gonna be a good fucking game. It's tough because like there's a tournament going on. Like,
Well, I don't know who's I know Yogi is missing some of Mass Flag to go play his game, and that's their leader. So
he's
he's
missing.
playing his NFL game.
I fucking love Yogi, dude. I respect that.
I respect that too.
I respect
because that's
that.
a big game.
And he's a captain, and he's saying I'm gonna fucking be there.
I don't think Boom Boom's missing anybody. Maybe Kevin
don't care.
McDonald.
I don't care. I think they are missing Kevin McDonald. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't know who's going or not. You know what I mean? But assuming everybody's there, I'm going with the Bad Boys. And I think it's going to be a very close game. I think it's going to come down to like the last couple plays or so. I think it's going to be a one-score game. And
I
I'm
do
gonna go
too.
with Bad Boys.
I'm gonna go with just because I got love for him, and
you're a boom boom at heart.
Yeah. With that being said, I got Bad Boys.
Oh, shit, dude.
By two conversion, 2 points.
Oh my goodness, Ben.
No, I just don't
He
know.
just spit up his drink.
I don't know if that Boom Boom's right. It's tough because they didn't get a real test. I don't think Nor'easters it was a real test for them yet. No disrespect to them, but I think they didn't look good. But then again, Bad Boys, I don't know. It's gonna come down to who's the more physical team in that wind and that weather. I don't know, man. This could go either way, honestly. I'll say Bad Boys by 2, just because I have them higher on the power rankings. But it wouldn't surprise me either way.
Okay. Next game, we got TD Mafia versus Houday.
TD Mafia. I mean, if you were to ask me before, Houday by a lot, but Houday's missing Deuce. They're missing Thomas White. This game could really be closer than you think. I'm gonna say TD Mafia shocks the world and wins by 3 points.
Wow.
Just because Houday's missing some guys.
Who are they missing?
They're missing Deuce and they're missing Thomas White.
Ooh.
Yep. Maybe more. I could be thinking they might be missing. And not to say that the other guys can't get it done, but that's a couple big pieces, man. And I don't think TD Mafia is missing anybody this week. So.
Wow. Knowing that, I mean, that obviously plays a huge factor into who I'm gonna pick. I mean, losing their top 2 players, scoring wise, you know what I mean? I think that's gonna be fucking tough, dude. I think this is gonna be a really good game still. And I kind of want to pick Houday. You pick TD Mafia?
Yeah.
For the fucking sake of us, one of us being right, one of us being wrong, I'm going to ride with Houday.
Okay.
And
I wouldn't be surprised.
They still have their quarterback, and we know that they drafted really well. I think they have some veterans that can step up and prove to have a place in this league. So I expect those guys to step up and have a game while, these playmakers are not there. I'm gonna be devil's advocate here, and I'll go with Houday.
Yeah, and Ricky, it's not a disrespect to you or Danny or any of the other guys. It's just anytime you're missing your top 2 players, you know what I mean, draft wise,
you're always gonna have the odds going against you.
That's just the facts of it. So I'll pick TD Mafia. I could be wrong.
And I'm gonna ride with Houday. I think they're a good enough team to be able to fucking win while missing guys. I think that's what the great teams do in this league.
I agree. All right, Dream Killers next game 10:30. Dream Killers and Demon Time. This could go either way.
We got the Dream Killers versus Demon Time. This is a fucking hey, how you doing game right here. One of these teams are about to get on track, and I'm going with fucking Demon Time all day long during this game. I think Demon Time is going to prove that this is actually who they are. You know what I mean? I think this is going to be one of those weeks right here, where they're playing pissed off. They're not happy about last week's results, and I think that they have a good core group of guys. I think their chemistry is good. I've seen it with my eyes. These guys, although they didn't really show it during week 1, as I mentioned earlier in the podcast, these guys didn't really have their head down. They still played with fire. They were still fucking talking. They're still playing. They're still drawing up plays in the fucking playbook. They're calling timeouts. These guys did not give up, and I think they're going to show that they're going to be a solid team in this session. And that's no disrespect to the Dream Killers, but I'm going Demon Time, and I'm pretty confident in this pick this week.
Do you want to make a bet on this one?
Yeah, what do you want to
bet? 8 racket.
I do the 8 racket high moons. Is that what you said? I'm only kidding. I'm down to take that bet. And tell me why. I told you
Dream
why.
Killers because of the way they looked without their co-captain, and they played against Houday, who's my number 1 overall team going into week 1, and they battled to the end. I got Dream Killers in this game.
What are we betting?
An 8 count of high noons.
And 10 push-ups.
Okay. On the show next week.
On the show.
All right. Speaking of Demon Time and Dream Killers, we actually have a special guest. I know a lot of people have. Yeah, we're gonna take a time out. I know a lot of people have wanted to talk to this guy and see what this guy has to say. We have the commissioner live.
Commish?
We also want to shout out to our sponsor, Drake It Tire.
Shout out to Drake It Tire. Bring it in 8 to 9 a.m. We run oil changes all week long, Monday through Friday. Drop it off in
Tell
the
them we
kiosk.
sent you and you get a 5% discount on a set of tires.
All jokes aside, tell them Flag Football Tonight sent you.
Yep. They won't do anything for you.
And
but
they're
it'll
not
just
going to
be
give
fun.
you nothing because they're not even a sponsor.
Yep. All right, we are here with the commissioner.
Commish, one request, please. Could you just turn your phone sideways for the viewers so that they can get a full visual of that fucking handsome dome of yours?
Thank you,
Put
sir.
this on speaker here.
Go to let me.
What, you want the chat?
Yeah. All right. Can you hear us?
Yep, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. Welcome in, Commish. Thanks for joining the show live.
Absolutely.
All right. So first question, Joey, what do you think about week one? Overall, as the league success? Anything you'd like to change? Any comments? Anything that needs to be worked upon?
I thought week one was actually great. It's probably the best week one we've had yet. Kind of the usual stuff, like hopefully people can stop being slobs, pick up the trash. That'd be nice. But
Yeah.
otherwise, I mean, there's no major issues and didn't have anything big come up like that, so it was good.
I'll say one thing. Maybe we can help out and bring some trash bags. I think I saw people personally, Bova, looking for a barrel to throw their stuff out. To be honest.
Yeah, I talked to the DCR guy from the state. The state runs the field now, so it's not on loan anymore. And for whatever reason, they took the barrels out when they took over the field. So I called them, and hopefully they're gonna bring some barrels for us this week. But we'll see.
Okay, because I did see a lot of people looking for trash, and there wasn't anything out there. So I mean, I can bring some white trash bags, and you know what I mean. We'll fill them up, and
You guys are also welcome to throw it in the back of Dome's truck or Benjamin Woodward's car. Either one.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, moving on, Joey. There's a little bit of I don't want to say controversy, but we do want to talk about some things going on in the league that people have been talking about. I know there's been some injuries. There's been some people who had prior commitments. They didn't know they had prior commitments or whatever, and some people just simply can't make some games. So, what is your thought process about maybe players getting I know it's week 2 or week 1. Maybe about it's early in the season. So, what do you think about people getting replaced with another player if someone had something that they didn't know was coming up or something like that?
Yeah. So the way it's always been since we started is, unless there's extreme circumstances or extreme reasons why someone can't play, that's not injury related usually.
Right.
Usually really don't do too much. Obviously, we had one this season with, unfortunately, with Jordan going down and him not being able to play, being the first overall pick. That kind of fell into that category of extreme circumstance where Hustlers is going to be out without their number one talent, their quarterback, and gotta think of the other 11 guys on that team. Do you really want to make them go through a 12-week, 3-month season without the arguably best player in the league? So, from the captain's perspective, we talked about it in the chat, and it was kind of decided that they should have someone to replace Jordan to keep him competitive and for the sake of everybody in the league. I think that was the right choice for that team. Prior to that, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
No, I was just agreeing with you. I'm also in the captain chat, and I can agree. I mean, the guy Jordan was a MVP and won the league last year, and obviously the poor kid tore his ACL. So it's like, who wants to play a whole season when your top pick is gone? You know what I mean? And they're my opponent. You know what I mean, technically, but I don't have any issue with them. Getting Jordan.
And, but before draft time, similar situation happened with Ben and Jack. Like, Jack hurt himself during a pickup game before the draft even happened, so he got swapped out as a co-captain to bring Kevin McDonald back into the league, and it's kind of a lateral move in the sense that Ben needed somebody that was a first round talent or second at the least to step in and fill that role that we set up for the captains, where one of them had to be a top end talent and the other one could be deemed a 5th or later. So a lot went into the process of picking captains this season in general, and you were in there, Howe, and the other captains that are in the chat right now. it wasn't a streamlined process, and getting people to commit to do that work and take on that responsibility is a challenge in and of itself. So I said it earlier in the chat too, I'm appreciative of the guys that did decide to take on the role, and I think we have the best teams we've had by far of any session. They're the most even across the board in my eyes already. And that's has a lot to do with people that decided to pick up the slack and be a captain.
I agree. So moving on from that, what do you, moving forward, is there anything that you kind of just have a message to the league, or anything that you'd like to change a little bit or work on, or just any overall comments at all?
As far as like adding or just swapping out players, obviously there's drama on the page with the current situation that involves my team, of course. But it's I always try to take every scenario that pops up and just think of the fairness for everyone. Like, can we really get into swapping out every player that gets hurt, regardless of their round, or it's going to open up way too many more arguments, and it just doesn't seem like it's ever going to be an easy solution from that sense. Like, if someone has a 5th round talent that got hurt, where do we even begin to implement, who gets to take that spot for them? And what if someone's 9th rounder goes down? Who do we get for that guy? What if there is no 9th round guys that want to join the league, and who do they get from that point? It's really just been, like I've said to the captains before, and everyone in general, 95% of the time we're really not doing anything to replace players. Carter went down. He was a big piece of outsiders last season that, other than Adam, they still had Adam, but one of the top players of the league, he doesn't get replaced. Last season, I had 2 guys that didn't show up for a single game, and then 2 more that showed up for 2 games between the 2 of them. So that's 4 guys that we didn't get anyone for, and we didn't expect to either. And it's just always the way it's been. Unless it's like a very specific circumstance that requires conversation, it's always talked about, at least, and brought up. There's, people bring up the Zioli situation from season 1 and 2, one when we were still a fresh new league, and it was very, very complicated that year for even figuring out how to run the league in general. He did end up getting swapped out for Devin Collier. He came into the league for redemption, but then season 2 he didn't get swapped out because he played over half the season and then ended up moving to Texas, and a handful of the captains just didn't agree that at that point he should get swapped out. So I try to take every issue as it's presented, as it happens. Some people might not think it's always fair and see it in a different way, but I think I try to do the best I can to keep it fair across the board, with as best I can, at least.
I would say the one thing that I think people they'll have trouble admitting is that every situation is different, even though it's different players or whatever. So I know some people are going to look at it like it doesn't matter if the guy's a 9th round pick or a 1st round pick. Everyone should be treated the same. You lose a player, doesn't matter. But I just think it's like it is, at the end of the day, it's flag football. This isn't, we're having fun here, and it's no fun if you lose your 1st round pick versus your 9th round pick. And that's no shot to anybody in the 9th, 10th round or whatever. It's that's not the point I'm trying to make. I just think at the end of the day, it's like there's a bigger impact if you lose a Tom Brady versus, you know what I mean, a different player. That's what I'm going to leave it at. So, and people aren't going to like the way that comes out, but it's just kind of the fact of it. Like there's certain players who have a huge impact on the game, like a Jordan, like we just talked about, has a huge impact on the fucking game. So I don't see any problem with him getting replaced with someone, because it's like it happened at the beginning of the year and he has a big impact on the team. The point of this league is fairness, I agree, but is it really fair if, the Hustlers didn't have a 1st round pick the entire season? People pay $100 and it's like they don't have I don't want to say they didn't have a shot, but like, dude, it's tough when you don't have a 1st round pick the entire season. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean by situation to situation. Like, he has that impact on the game. So That's pretty much all I got to say about it. I don't want to dig too deep into the whole chaos of it, because we've already been dealing with it all day or whatever. So I'll pretty much leave it at that. Pat, what do you think?
I mean, well said. You know what I mean? I trust that Bova is always going to do what's best for this league right here. I don't think that we're all competitive people, and I don't see anybody getting any kind of free competitive edge. There's obviously a reason for everything. You know what I mean? It's tough being the commissioner. You know, there's a lot of different things that come with it, obviously. So, I mean, I think Bova's doing a great job. I don't think there's any reason to kind of think of it any other way. You know what I mean? So it's a tough situation. It's out of a lot of people's control. So
Right.
I think you know, as you guys mentioned, the big thing is we don't want there in the history of the league. There's been some unfortunate events that have happened where you know it really kills it for certain teams where they're not as competitive and stuff like that, which kind of comes down to the integrity of the league. So I think everything that's going on is always kind of in the better of the league. I always think it's NEFL first, so it is what it is what I think.
I agree. Haverty, don't start with me. I seen you said I was a yes man, buddy. Don't get me going right now. All right, be a nice kid. All right, be focused on the more important things over in Demon Time Land, because I'm a little bit worried about you guys. But
I'm not.
I'm not either. I'm honestly not. Bova, thank you for joining us. Any last comments?
Anything else, commissioner wise, you want to talk about? No, no rush. Whatever you want, brother.
I mean, otherwise, I mean, I think some people were a little upset with us having some player refs in week 1. We will have.
Let's talk about that, Bova. What do you think about the refs week 1?
Something happened?
Well, we won't go too much into the negative details of it, but
okay.
It has always been the plan to have non-player refs, and that's no surprise. It's always been the biggest hurdle every season so far, is getting committed people to ref the games for us. So originally we were supposed to have Drew Ayton and the Mass Flag guys. They were going to come on board and be our 4 refs for the whole season, but they unfortunately just couldn't commit with all the Mass Flag stuff going on. They got the kids leagues going on over there and everything. They traveled to other states, so they couldn't really commit to it. But
sorry, go ahead.
So now we do have we had our 4. So it was going to be Bob back from North Tingsboro. He refs those leagues a lot. He came in here season 2. So Bob will be back starting week 2. And I thought Chicky and Christian did a pretty decent job themselves, and neither of them are players, so they're have that unbiased view at least. And then Chris Nene was going to be the 4th ref with Bob. So obviously there's some circumstances that happen at the end of week 1, and now we'll be looking for a partner for Bob for the rest of the season. So still some plans we have to put in place to get that slot filled. There might be some more players in the meantime for another week or 2 filling in that role on field 2 with Bob being that back judge. But it's always been in the plans. We have Mikey Cobbin Sr. He's in our ref chat. He unfortunately just can't commit to doing the games every week. He's another busy guy and has his daughter's travel schedule. She's playing USA flag, so that's great for her and that family. But there's other options out there that we're exploring. It's just been the toughest hurdle that we've had so far, is getting those people to commit to it.
Yeah. And it's a lot to commit to. Huh? Yeah. Hey, come on, don't do that.
No, don't do that. All right. Last thing, Bova.
I have another thing too after
about the wind.
Huh?
About the wind?
No, I got a different.
Bova, did you think the wind was a factor week 1?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
100% a factor.
We saw stuff flying around everywhere. It definitely was a
Crazy.
factor.
You can see the first pick I threw in that game, you could see I'm sitting there waiting for the wind to stop. It's fucking, you can't even hear anybody. The wind's so bad. But I only had nothing. That's my crutch. It was the wind.
Well, you look like you actually needed real crutches too. You look like you were a little hurt out there.
He keeps saying this.
He's hurt, dude.
Look, luckily I could finally run. I think I looked okay running. It's my elbow though. My elbow's fucked. I can't stiff arm nobody.
So it's your elbow, because somebody on the show last week said that you pulled both hamstrings at the same time.
He pulled both his groins.
Yeah, I wonder who said that. I didn't hear that one.
What was
No, I did
karma?
have my groin was fucked for a little while. It's good now, but
I'm
I
not
found
sure if you
Scott.
brought. I'm not sure if you brought it up while I was gone quickly, but do you want to touch on uniforms? It sounds like more than likely they're going to be in this week.
Oh yeah, so updating the tracking is it should be here tomorrow. That's what the tracking number says. So hopefully it'll be at my house tomorrow when I go home from work.
Oh my gosh, that's like Christmas morning, all of us, Boba. I
It's a
can't
good
wait to rock a Blue Lobster fucking, you know what I mean, a jersey. Kidding me?
I'm hoping all the colors look good. That's let's see how they look in person.
I think they will. I've seen what is it, Empire?
Yeah.
I've seen the work that they do, and it comes out awesome. So this is the first jersey I'm ever gonna get from them, and I'm really excited.
Shout out to Empire for stepping up during a weird time with the former jersey makers. We don't know what the fuck happened there. So it looked like someone had a meltdown.
Yeah.
About 2 weeks before the jerseys were made, Empire stepped up and fucking. I can't even believe that we got jerseys already and we're good to go.
Yeah, they did a great job for sure. It's always something. Can never be easy.
So it's always something. Bova, anything else?
No, that's it. As always, you guys are doing a great job, and I think the production you guys have been doing on the show has been awesome. And I look forward every week to seeing how the show progresses. So good job, guys.
Thank you, Bova. Appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks again, Bova.
Thanks for coming on, Commish.
Absolutely. See you soon.
Alrighty.
All right, so
Let's hear it for the Commish.
thank you, Bova.
Thanks for hopping on.
Let's finish up our week 2 matchups. I think we got a couple left, right? So we have a bet officially. I have Dream Killers. You have Demon Time at 10:30.
Yep.
10 push-ups and a pack of noons.
And a pack of nooners.
And a banana backwood.
And a banana backwood.
Okay. Next up, Nor'easter versus Guardians.
Woo! I think this is going to be a good game.
I do too.
Because the Guardians, although they looked good and they won their first game, they're 1-0, they didn't really score many points. So I think that leads me to the idea of this being a pretty good idea. Pretty good game right here. I think this is going to be a solid matchup. I'm going to go with Guardians. I think that they're going to win this game by, I'm going to say 12 points, but I think it's going to play closer than 2 scores. I think it's going to look closer than that, if it makes sense.
I just, I think I'm going to have a hot take here.
Okay.
Or should I say, a cold take?
Oh my goodness, what do you got?
I heard that it's sunny skies with 100% chance of snow on Sunday. A nor'easter's coming.
Really?
No.
Wait. I don't know if they heard that or
No,
not.
I'm just kidding. I got nor'easters winning this game by 2 points.
Wow, big upset.
I think something crazy is going to happen. I think there's
That
going to be
slowdown. Spring ain't here yet.
going to be a glitch in the matrix. I think nor'easters upset the Guardians this week. I don't know why.
You just feel like that.
Nor'easter is missing everyone. All right, maybe not.
You want to bet on that one?
One,
Oh, hold on. We got a comment that just came in. It says, once Howe stole my wallet in high school, and then he helped me look for it. Is that true?
That's Bubba, right? Yeah.
No, I don't know who that is. I mean, it's the guy that you stole his fucking wallet. So you tell me. I didn't have his ID.
Did you guys know that Bubba can actually chew a hole through a fucking fence?
Listen, but
Anyway, yeah, I know, Carter. I just got a feeling. Something weird is in the air.
wow, I
Something
said,
weird.
wow. Carter, I
Something
picked the
strange.
Guardians. I don't know what this
Something
guy's
strange
fucking
is
smoking
going
over
on.
here.
Use it as motivation. Something weird is going to happen this week.
Bubba, you're allowed to chew during hot dog contest. All right. Moving on. Next game, we got Only Flags versus the Punishers.
There's a couple big pieces missing here.
Holy fuck, this is a good game.
Jose Lazu's out. Jay Charles is out.
Punishers. I don't care who's there. for
But
the Punishers.
but then Greg is out. And
Okay.
then Danny, I think, is more than likely going to be playing in Spring Fling, right?
I don't know.
That game could go fucking anywhere. You know who's gonna? I'm picking Only Flags. You know why?
What?
Their backup quarterback Drew has a game. He balled out in the rookie showcase. I say Drew.
What is a quarterback? Who's
Yeah.
gonna throw for them?
Drew,
Drew?
their last round pick.
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees. He's gonna win. He's gonna win that game for them. Just because Punishers, I think, is missing I don't know, man. I don't know who they're missing. I know
It's
Punishers are
tough,
missing
right?
a lot of guys though.
You the Punishers are, you're saying?
I don't know who's gonna throw for them.
For the Punishers? I think Danny's gonna be there.
If Danny's there, they win. If not, their top 2 quarterbacks are missing. I genuinely don't know who throws for them.
It's gonna
That's
have
not
to be
even
the
a knock.
captain, Steven.
I haven't seen Steve throw. He might be able to throw. I know. I love Stevie, but I don't know who's. I'm genuinely like I don't know that who would throw, and I know Drew can throw for only flags, so that's where the advantage goes in my eyes. I go with only flags just because I know Drew can throw. That's it.
That's it?
Because I don't know who throws. If Danny's there, I got Punishers in that game. So it comes down to that. But for the sake, we have to assume everybody's there. I'm gonna go Punishers.
My phone's blowing up right now. Sources are saying that Steve is going to be the quarterback of this team. And again, I've never seen him throw a football either.
That's tough. Steve is my dog, but I've never seen him throw. So I got to go with someone I've seen throw. And I've seen Drew throw. That's it.
Okay.
Who are you going with?
I'm going to go with you said that the only flags are down Jay, they're down Jose Lazu. Anybody else that you know of?
I don't. Maybe Bryce.
And they do.
No, Matt Shannon. He ain't gonna be there either.
I'm going with Punishers.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going with Punishers. The Punishers are 0-1. They were a play away from being 1-0. I think that this team that left a sour taste in their mouth. I feel like they should have. I feel like they think they should have won that game.
Right.
So I think they're going to play with the chip on their shoulders this week. And without Jay and without Jose Lazu, with all respect to Drew, I mean he hasn't played quarterback in this league yet. So I mean Punishers don't have one either actually. So fucking I don't know where I'm getting at with that, but I'm gonna flip a coin. You're picking only flags to win that game. I'm gonna play devil's advocate like I have been this show, and I'm gonna go Punishers.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm gonna go Punishers by a fucking no score, just a coin toss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Candy versus Grizzly Bears.
I got Grizzly Bears.
I got Candy.
Oh my goodness. What? Okay. Why do you have Candy in this game? It's the Grizzly
I
Bears.
don't really know why. I think that it's going to be a week 2 slump for Grizzly coming off a huge win. I think Candy has a lot to prove after week 1. Everyone's kind of writing them off, and I think they're going to be. I don't want to say Grizzly's going to take them lightly, but they might go in thinking they're going to smoke them, and then Candy just kind of shows that they're not dead yet. So I'm just kind of going a little kind of some peppy takes this week. So I got you know what, I'm gonna go with Candy by a close game. They beat Grizzlies, they upset Grizzly Bears.
Wow. I mean, dude, I don't really hate that, honestly. I mean, I mean, a lot of people are giving Junior compliments after that loss that they had last week. He kept, it obviously didn't look good for them, but he kept his fucking head on. And this is a deep team that he has that's fit to his style. He drafted them, and I mean, I definitely don't hate what you're saying, but I don't fucking love it. So I'm picking Grizzly Bears. I think that these guys are one of the teams to watch out for.
I do
think
agree.
they could make the finals, and I don't think that
Cheeks didn't like that one.
gonna stop. Yeah, I mean, Cheeks, buddy. You know what I mean? Like I'm picking the Grizzlies, and it's not because of Bubba.
Bubba, you got a face only a mother could love.
Yeah,
Speaking of his mother, I won't even go on.
we're on YouTube.
Yep.
All right. Next up, we got the last game of the week, and I believe they call this the rivalry game at 1 p.m. We got the Greek Gods versus the Hustlers.
Okay. What do you got in this one? Where did the cooler go?
Right there.
Oh, I got what'd you have? What'd you get after it tonight?
Two Trey Nunes for your boy. They don't call me Patty High Noon Ice for nothing. And by they, I mean me. Nobody calls me that.
Okay.
Um,
Fair enough.
Greek Gods versus Hustlers. I got Greek Gods. I don't actually. Yeah, I do got Greek Gods. I do know that they're missing some players, but I think that Jake is going to be more locked in than he was in week 1. I think that this is a very important game to him. He wants to prove that he doesn't need Duval to win games in this league. That's what I believe. And I think that he's gonna fucking prove everybody that this week. And I got the Greek Gods. I got the Greek Gods winning this game by 12 plus. 2 scores plus.
Okay. I think that if it comes down to Hustlers, if their quarterback shows up again, which
He's probably in a tournament.
if he's gonna show up to anything, you would think it'd be for UGK in spring playing over this. To be honest, just
Yeah.
being honest, you know what I mean. I think he would play for them before that, which allows Greek Gods look good. Obviously, Duval's a big missing piece, but Drake can play with anybody, man. And I don't know, Hustlers didn't show me enough last week. So I'm gonna say that I think that Greek Gods wins this again. They go 2-0, and Hustlers, you lose this week, you start 0-2, and I don't know where that goes for that team, just because your quarterback hasn't shown up yet. If he doesn't show up this week, I would just be surprised if he did. If there's a tournament,
Probably in the
going on.
tournament, right?
So I'm gonna go Greek Gods.
Plays with UGK, I think.
Yep. So we'll see what happens.
Yep.
But last thing we want to cover, and Patty,
Yep.
maybe you can lead us off with this. Is
Okay.
I want you early MVP voting and early Rookie of the Year voting.
Oh my God, dude, put me right on the spot.
Yep.
MVP, huh? Oh fuck, dude, I wasn't expecting this.
I can even start out if you'd like.
I think I know who I'm gonna pick, but go ahead.
Go ahead. All right, go ahead.
I think it's I think that an MVP this year usually goes to the quarterback position. I think that Riley could get it. He got the Player of the Week this week, and I think that this team is really. I keep repeating myself. This team is really set up the way that he likes to play, and I think that he plays smart football. I think that he really, really likes this roster he's got. So I think that's going to allow him to have a lot of success in this league, and I think that he's going to put up some good stats this year, and I think that Primetime's going to have a deep playoff run. So that's what leads me to very, 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 very early MVP prediction.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Wow.
Actually, yeah. So
That's why I didn't let you go first. I kind of thought you were going to go with him.
yeah, and I think the only thing I can knock on him week 1 was his completion percentage wasn't great, but that can change. I mean, anything. He
Who
looked
cares
good.
about that?
Yeah, and that
Who,
can go.
Riley?
Completion percentage wasn't outstanding. But
It doesn't matter, though, because he threw for 7
And it was
touchdowns
windy.
and 0 interceptions
Exactly.
on a
So
fucking win team.
I'm just saying, someone has to play devil's advocate. You gotta have one knock. You know what I mean?
Okay, fine. I can pick somebody after your take.
Okay.
I'm going to pick a new MVP.
So that's one MVP that I would go with. And then when it comes to Rookie of the Year, I think it's going to come down to 2 players.
I got mine.
I think it's either going to be Danny Dimes,
That was mine.
or I think it's going to be Hose B.
Okay.
Or
Or,
I have a sleeper pick.
yup.
If he's healthy,
Okay.
Jose Lazu
Okay.
as rookie. That's my 3 rookies to watch. I know, and you can make a bid for Archibald. Had like 4 touchdowns this week.
Bryce had 3 or 4
Yeah,
touchdowns
so
as well.
there's a couple guys, but those are my 3 that I'm gonna lock in on. So what was you had another MVP?
I was gonna pick. Oh, my other one is it's a little biased. Should I say it?
Yeah.
The Boston Blue Lobsters home. Michael Howe is gonna lead us to another. I said it. Another MVP season.
I would love that.
Yep.
But most importantly, we want to get the dub. Bailey is trying to call in, but has no permission. If you can get in the
Bailey, you
Discord
can
in
hop
30
in, buddy. I'll
seconds.
hold this whole fucking show up for you.
But you got to get in the
Let
next
me-
30 seconds.
Let me fucking drop the Discord link in the chat. We got everything that we want to cover this episode, so we're gonna rifle through callers quick. If anybody wants to join the show, this is gonna be quick. Join the Flip the Bird Discord.
Yeah, we're gonna let anyone get in right now. We're gonna send the link out on.
I'm gonna drop it in the chat. I'm gonna drop it in the chat of this fucking podcast.
Okay.
I don't know why I
People
said
know how
it
to
so
do that?
aggressively.
Oh, into the YouTube chat.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So anybody that's watching right now,
And
just
you-
so you know how this works, you can, if you don't, you have to have Discord, and we're gonna drop the link in the chat, the YouTube chat. You click that link and just follow it, and just hop into interview guests. There'll be a little section you can just wait in, and that's pretty much it. And we'll bring in. So be on the lookout. We just posted the link.
Boom. All right. There's the link right there. It's Discord. It's completely free. You can join on your phone, cell phone. And there is a you join it. There's an interview now tab. You simply click it. You turn that camera on so everyone can see your pretty face, and then we're gonna fucking pull you in this show live. So if anybody wants to join, if nobody wants to join, we're fucking done. It looks like somebody joined. Oh, and it's Rambo. Okay, so Rambo, I have to edit your role. I have to edit your role in Discord. You're now edited. So Rambo, I think that's Bailey. Bailey, you should see an interview guest now tab. All you have to do is click that and I'll drag you in. That is it. That's all you got to do.
Who do you got in the championship?
For this season?
Yeah, if Blue Lobsters didn't make it.
Oh, I was going to say Blue Lobsters. Grizzly Bears versus I'll say only Flags.
All right, welcome to Bailey, who's had a lot to say since Sunday. Seen him on the sidelines, he had a lot to say. Let's get him in here. Ooh.
Bailey, you're on the show? He keeps leaving. Bailey. There we go. You're in the right one, Bailey. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you clear.
There we go, buddy. You want to turn your camera on, or do you just want a fucking...
No, I
All
clicked
right,
it. It's
here we
loading.
go.
There we go.
Bailey, what do you got to say?
All right, first and foremost, can you see me
Wait,
on the
hold
stream?
on.
We looking good?
No, we can't. You have to back out and then rejoin. Real quick.
All right, disconnect.
Sorry. Yep, sorry.
We might have lost him, but go ahead.
Yeah, he's out of here. I'm never bringing him back.
No, he's back. Okay.
Okay, Bailey, try it one more time. It wasn't loading on our end.
Yep.
Still
Still
not.
don't see those beautiful faces.
What do you got? Fucking Cricket Wireless?
Yeah, I don't know why your camera's not working.
What about now? Nothing.
Are you on a laptop or... Oh,
Yeah, we're on laptop.
there it is.
You look
Look at
like
that
a
handsome fella.
fucking Minecraft character. But
Welcome in, and anybody, if your girl's watching, I apologize. You better fucking shut that down real quick, because we're welcoming in Bailey to the show.
All right, let's get serious here. First and foremost, if you're gonna be in the YouTube chat and you're gonna be hiding behind a fake name, buddy, and you're gonna be calling people out, shout out to the people in the chat right now. You can't call someone out if it's not your name. Let's just be realistic. Talking about the camera guys calling people out. Have a little sack behind your words if you're gonna be chatting in the
So
YouTube
you're
chat.
saying there's people in the chat who aren't.
Oh yeah.
They're making comments behind fake names.
Yeah, making comments behind fake names. And then another thing, if we're going back to the Facebook chat, we got people chirping people on the Facebook page about the podcast. Just tag them. Just tag them. If you're that gangster, just tag them.
I kind of
Right?
love that. I kind of agree with that, Pat. What do you think?
I love that. I love the energy Bailey's bringing.
If you're going to be talking like that, why not walk like that? I mean, I don't know. Just a little weird to me.
It reminds me of Walk It Like I Talk It, that song by Migos.
Also wanted to say, so I know we talked about Lazu Sr. getting injured. Are they getting a replacement for that, or?
Oh, don't open up that can of worms.
Open it up, Bailey.
That's legitness. I mean, dude, he was their second rounder, right?
Can we move on from that? Can we not do that?
I think it's valid.
We'll see in about the next 24 hours what happens with the other situation going on and where we're gonna go from there. I don't know how to answer that question, because I guess it is a valid point, but now if if you're gonna replace a first rounder, you got to replace a second rounder, and then you got to replace a third rounder, and then fourth, and so on.
Well, I think that's important to address now before it happens, right? To have a policy in place, because I get how Joey's kind of just doing stuff on the fly and fix it as it happens. But if we had like some rules in place before this stuff happened, we can be like, oh, this is what we already agreed to. You know what I mean?
And we did have rules, but I think every situation is different. Would you agree or no? You think everything should just be the same?
No, I do agree that everything's different, but we should already have a plan in place, right?
I
you think every single thing that happens, we have to address it as its singular event, like?
Yeah, I do. But I mean, if you start losing, I don't know what round is the cutoff. Maybe you decide. I don't know, man. It's tough. It is tough.
Well, Lazu says he'll be back in the chat, so I guess we're not worried. But
it's
I'm just saying, because
they
were my number one.
But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I agree with you. I'm not saying anything you're saying is wrong. It's just tough, man, because you opened up a can of worms once we allowed one replacement.
Okay, so what's the cutoff, right? Is it first rounders and co-caps only, like that upper echelon talent, like the Jordans and the who else got replaced? No one yet, right? Just the Jordans and the Deuces of the world, right? Those type guys.
Well, there might be more. So I don't know. That's where it's at. So we're gonna find out right now. Dome said can't get a replacement in rookie of the year. I don't know, man. I just what do you think, Pat?
What?
Do you think that you know what I mean about the adding and swapping out players? When does it stop? Because Lazo was a second rounder, so it's like
No. Lazio, you're not getting replaced, bro.
all right,
I don't
Lazo,
know.
you
I mean,
just
it's
heard
tough. It's tough, and I
Yeah.
get the argument everybody's making, right? But we just got to kind of look at the bigger picture of the year. You know, it's tough because there's a lot of missing information kind of going with this. You know what I mean? So I don't know, dude. It's fucking tough. It's a slippery slope, and I think you're not gonna make everybody happy either way. Because it's tough. Like, no, you should, like, if somebody gets hurt during the season, we can't just fucking replace everybody. But there's a fine line, obviously, of stuff going on. So I don't know.
I'm hearing
So
Lazo's calf looks like a pair of baby back ribs right now. I'm gonna just fall off the bone. He says he'll be back. I don't know if I believe that.
so I know the news hasn't broke on another replacement yet, but
No, don't say it because we're not even.
yeah,
Say-
no, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I just think that it should be addressed prior to a season where we say like, hey, if we lose someone who's this like type talent, we have to replace them. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
when you do it on the fly, I think the league loses credibility, and especially when
That's a great point. I think that it's a working process. Like, dude, we've had things happen every single year. Rules, issues, everything that some stuff you can't prepare for. Like people don't think of this before the draft. People don't shit happens that you're not gonna think of before. And you gotta address it as it comes. And I think that Bove has done a great job and I think everybody's kind of gotten to that point of you get mad at the commissioner, which I get. You know what I mean? Sometimes shit doesn't look fair, but it's like nobody can prepare for some of the shit that happens,
Right.
and you just gotta act accordingly.
Right.
But moving forward,
100%.
it's all about how we adjust. Moving forward, next session there'll be a rule either. Hey, you lose a first round pick, no replacements, or you have until week 2 or something. There'll be a rule. It's just for now we got to figure it out. Anything else, Bailey?
well,
Bailey,
yeah,
the floor is yours, buddy.
yeah, that's one more thing. So people will talk all the shit in the world about Joey, like, because the guy's got the weight of the whole league on his shoulders. So any decision that he makes, half the league's going to be mad at him, and half the league's going to think it's a good idea. So that's another thing I think people need to keep in mind is that, like, there's usually no one perfect answer for a situation. So we're tearing Joey to shreds over what's about to happen. And I mean, what would you do? Do they just lose a guy? It's a slippery slope, like Pat said. I don't know what's 100% correct.
I agree. All right. Well, Bailey, thank you very much for coming in. Who do you got
Is
to win the
RT3 in
championship?
here?
Love for RT3 to join this.
Is that
show.
him, this third guy down here? Or is that your
Somebody in the.
No, that's Rob.
Oh,
that's
my fault. I just saw
That
RT.
ain't RT3.
Favorites to win, I got 4 teams. I got
Okay.
a final 4.
Okay.
I don't even know the divisions, but I would say top 4 teams to win the chip. Gotta go. No disrespect to my Blue Lobsters. I still got mad love for you, but you're not in it. I'm sorry. Houde, Bad Boys, Only Flags, and Gods.
Okay. All right. And just like that, you're off.
Yeah.
Boys, I'll catch you later. Have a good one.
Thanks, Bailey, for
Thank you,
tuning in.
Bailey. Always keeps it spicy.
I love
and
that.
always doesn't sugarcoat shit.
Bailey's an OG. He fucking marches to the beat of his own drum, and everybody's got to respect that.
I agree.
If you got that burner account on YouTube, he said make sure, obviously, if you got the burner, fucking subscribe to Flip the Bird Media. But after that, make sure you log into your real account, fucking government name. You need to be commented on your government name, and otherwise, you know what I mean. You can definitely subscribe with whatever account you got to Flip the Bird Media. But you have to speak on your government name.
I agree. All right. Any last? We're gonna give 30 more seconds to get in here while we kind of make up final comments. But you got 30 seconds to hop in if you have anything to say. Patrick, last comments.
You know, A lot of chirping this episode all the way around. You got another minute or so where if anybody wants to pop in to the show, the time's yours. But otherwise, it's been a very fun episode. Appreciate everybody tuning in. This was a good one.
I agree.
That's
all you got to say.
That's all I really have to say. What do you have to say?
I
you got some big fucking novel to say right now?
Yeah, I think Howe didn't impress me.
Okay. I don't think.
Damn, dude. I know Dome is gonna get freaked out.
Oh, dude, he's already typing to you.
So, that's pretty much it. I don't have much to say either. I think the Blue Lobsters are gonna get it done again this week. And I think they're the team to beat.
Oh my god, dude.
It's too windy to join. This is when you know it's time to get off here. When the trolls start coming out. Ricky, leave us alone.
Ricky's
Jason,
in the Discord too. He just doesn't want to join.
Yeah, Jason Gray said Patty and Mikey are cowards.
Jay, hop in. Why are we cowards? Oh, we got to welcome. Somebody joined. Someone joined.
I think that was Rambo. All right. Someone tuck Howe in. All right, listen. Let's end it on a positive note. Thank you to everyone who came in. A couple of you we didn't want on here because you only got faces for radio.
Yeah.
And not
But that's
Skype
all right.
call. But what else you got? That's it.
Appreciate everybody tuning in. I mean, you guys fucking always show us so much love. It's fucking awesome. That's kind of what helps this thing cruise. You know what I mean? We got 55 likes in here. You kidding me? That's fucking awesome. That's fire. If you guys could share the video or whatever, get it out there. We appreciate everybody tuning in. We want to continue to get people on this show. So anybody, I don't care what round draft pick you are. I don't care if you're a 17th rounder. I want more people on this show weekly. And I appreciate everybody tuning in. Chad.
We're at tennis.
Fucking
all right, thank you, fellas. Until gotta start hurting feelings. Here we go. All right, until next week, fellas.
That's it. We'll see you guys on episode 3. Everybody have a good rest of your week.